Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a gun. Get in the van. That's beautiful. I think I'm going to send that to my girlfriend. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't even notice that I was recording right now. That's embarrassing. But anyways, welcome to your second Photoshop tutorial, and in this lesson, I want to start going over the tools in Photoshop. Different from a tool that you meet like at a bar or something, because these tools aren't douchebags. So, that's probably why, schools aren't allowed to watch my tutorials because I say things like douchebags. And I'm trying to make a professional video here. But anyways, you can see all the tools in Photoshop on the left hand side. All these little buttons, icons right here are Photoshop's tools. Now each tool does a different job, much like tools in real life. For example, you have tools for selecting images or items. The most common one is the move tool, the one at the top that looks like an arrow and four different arrows, I guess. You also have tools like paint brushes where you can obviously paint something like lines, whatever. There's some tools for adding text, the text tool right here. A bunch of different tools to do different things that you commonly would use to alter your image in some way. Now, before I go into detail of what each of these tools does, because that would take forever, there are actually over 70 tools in Photoshop, and every tool probably needs an individual tutorial to fully explain the capabilities of each. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to show you around the basic overview of how to use and navigate your tools panel. So you see that there are about 20 tools visible right now, but I said that Photoshop has over 70. So was I lying? Well, no, I wasn't. A bunch of tools are grouped under the same button, and you can tell if a tool has more tools under the same button because some tools, you see this move tool right here, there's not an arrow on the bottom right hand corner, but other tools like this, they have these arrows on the bottom right hand corner if you look closely. So in order to access the other tools that are grouped with this, just go ahead and click that, and you can see that once you do, a sub menu pops up. So this tool actually has a rectangle, elliptical, single row, and single column tool all under the same button. So why does Photoshop do this? Well, it just helps organize similar tools and, just helps, less clutter, I guess. So that's how you access similar tools. In a cool way that you can change from tool to tool if you're really lazy is you can use, obviously, to select the tool you can click it and then you're working with that tool, but each tool also has a hotkey as well. Now, what is a hotkey? Well, if you hover over the tool, it tells you the tool name. For example, this is the move tool, this is the single column magnetic lasso tool. So say that we're working with this spot healing brush tool and we want to switch to the magnetic lasso tool, but we are way lazy. We're eating, a big burrito with our right hand. So what we can do is we can see that it says magnetic lasso L in the parentheses. So we can just go ahead and hit L on our keyboard, and now we're automatically working with the magnetic lasso tool. So to select a tool, you can either click it with your mouse or use the hotkey. And how do you figure out the hotkey? If you hover over it, it's in parentheses. So move tool is V. You want to remember that one because this is a common one. Now, aside from, selecting tools and seeing all the subtools, tools also have options. So what do I mean by that? Probably the easiest one I can explain right now is the paintbrush tool. Now the paintbrush tool is of course the one that looks like a paintbrush right here, right under your spot healing brush, and it's hotkey B. So whenever you click it, you can see that these buttons at the top change. Now these options are going to change depending on which tool you select. For your brush tool, you select things like size of the brush, how big do you want your brush to be, the shape of your brush, do you want it to be skinny or big and thick. Now all of the settings are right here. For example, the opacity is pretty much how much you can see through. So each of these options pretty much you can select in different ways. Some have drop down menus, some have sliders like this. So if I only wanted it 50% opacity, change that to 50%. Now it would be lighter. And you can also change this by using another shortcut slider where a lot of people don't know about this, but if you hover over the name opacity, you can see that your icon, or your cursor rather, it changes to a little finger with two arrows on each side. Just go ahead and click and drag left and right. And again, I don't know why Photoshop did this because, whoever's too lazy, like, okay, I want to change the opacity, but I'm not clicking this and then sliding it. I'm just gonna, I just want to click one thing and then drag. I guess you can do it this way, but I like using the slider, in case anyone wants to know. So, all of these tools have different shapes and different options. And again, if you're working with the tool and then you see a different list of options, that probably means that you have the wrong tool selected. So that's all I wanted to mention on tools. And before I let you guys go, I guess I have time to show you guys how to do one more thing. Actually, you know what? That's really for another tutorial because it's a whole separate subject. Because now that you know how to work with tools and know all about panels, I think it's time to say, you know what? It's time to create our own new document. So in the next tutorial, we're going to be showing you, or I'm going to be showing you how to create a new document. It's going to be awesome. It's probably going to be the best video that you guys ever saw on YouTube. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.